Welcome to Spring LIB.
All right, so to answer this question, I think it's most useful to actually visualize these biomes first and then compare that visualization with the answer choices and narrow it down from there. So on this side, we have a subtropical desert where, maybe these are some sand dunes off in the distance. It's really sandy, maybe a little couple of rocks over here. Um, but the weather is hot, it's arid, it's dry. You have maybe a couple of fauna close to the or flora, excuse me, close to the ground. Maybe a cactus or two growing. Not a lot of life out here. Um, on this side, we have a tundra. It's cold, but it's also, while out here we have some mountains that might be iced over, the ground itself might be iced, like, or have like a layer of frost on it, but it's also similar to the subtropical desert, pretty arid. And in tundras, you're not going to get a lot of precipitation. And when you do, it's probably going to be snow. But it's more the cold weather itself that's characteristic of a tundra and not a lot of snow per se. Although when the snow does come, it will tend to stick more because the weather will often be below freezing anyway. But despite that, below the permafrost, which is that like layer of frost that's almost always on the ground, you might have a couple of like grasses or plants or maybe like things growing on rocks that have adapted to a colder climate and low levels of precipitation, but they're not going to be that many. So these are the general characteristics of these two biomes. Now let's take a look at our answer choices and see which ones make sense. Both have burrowing animals. That might be true, but I highly doubt you're going to have any animals burrowing down into, permafrost. Polar bears do burrow into snow, and that's how, they maintain homes pretty much. And animals living in, subtropical desert might escape the sun that way. But is that really, the most characteristic trait? Maybe not. Let's take a look at our other options. Plants tend to grow in clumps. That could be true if, certain areas are more adaptable than others, but maybe not. Both are characterized by low water availability and so low NPP. Now that, based solely on our visualization of these two biomes, pretty much fits them to a T. You have like an arid area, not a lot of precipitation in either case. Like that's literally in their definitions. That's what makes them the biomes that they are. And because of that, they will have a low NPP because you're not going to have a lot of plant biomass above the surface. And then the last answer about perennials. Perennials are not going to survive in an environment like this. I'm sorry. So I think it's safe to say that because it fits pretty much what both of these biomes are by definition, and they are characteristics that the two do have in common, we can safely say that C is our answer.